Might be a little bit rusty. It has been a while since I sat down to record a video. Hi, I'm Nikki Star. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. So for me, the holidays are just coming to a close, but I think by the time I post this, we will have had New Year. This video is to go over a little bit of my 2022 goals, specifically my writing related goals, because that's obviously what we are concerned about on this channel, and also what this channel is going to look like hopefully in the next year, what I'm looking at doing, what I'm going to change. Last year I had a really big thing that I was working on. If you don't know, I was doing Milwordy. So between January and September I pretty much had all of my stuff laid out to try and hit this goal. I think it was August, not September. This year I don't have that kind of goal. So I need to make up my own things. Now, before Milwordy, I kind of had a bit of a pattern going, but it's been somewhat scuppered by the fact that during Milwordy I zero drafted through my whole series. And the plan before Milwordy originally was to do like a draft of book one, then move on to book two, come back to book one, do book two, go to a bit of book three, come back until my first draft was ready. What I've actually done is just zoomed my way through the series so I can find the problems and the pitfalls and hopefully fix them. As part of the Milwordy, I also read through what I zero drafted. So the plan for my Space Pirates series is currently 9 books. I don't know why I thought 9 books was the way to go, but it's where we are. I zero drafted through book 1 to book 8. I didn't draft book 9, and I explained this at the time in relation to how my brain used to work when I was writing. I was very much a pantser in my early days, and if I was to finish a book or a series to the end point, I didn't want to come back and edit anything. I kind of was just happy having told myself the story and moved on to something new. And while I don't think that would have been the case, I wanted to make sure. So I didn't finish the last book in the series to kind of give myself a bit of excitement towards the end to how it's going to finish, because I'm not even sure how it's going to end properly yet. The plan during Milwordy was to draft through them all, and then I reread them all through, except for the end of book 8. I didn't finish rereading that, and then I took a bit of a gap from it all to do NaNoWriMo. I'm going to try and finish drafting Project Magic, which is my NaNoWriMo book, in January, and finish rereading Space Pirate book 8. From that point on, I want to try and start doing a pattern that I'm hoping, if it works, I can continue for another few years. I am scaling back. One of the main themes of 2022 is scaling back on the amount of goals I set myself after Milwordy and the burnout that created, and with the fact that I am now in a job that has a lot more responsibility in my 9 to 5 and it's only going to get more responsibility. I need to scale back on some of this stuff. I still want to do a lot of the creative work, but I'm going to have to pull back slightly. So rather than trying to draft a stupid amount of books in a year, I'm settling down to 3. So the plan will be January every year will be any kind of anything that wasn't finished the year before, any loose ends that need tying up. As I said, that will be rereading book 8 and finishing Project Magic. February to May, that will be a draft. So this year, that will hopefully be Space Pirates 1 draft 2. The idea of that 4 months is kind of flexible, but in my head I have it that the first month, maybe month and a half, maybe 2 months, will be planning anything I need, rereading any previous stuff that I need to reread, getting myself in a position where I can then spend the next 2 or 3 months drafting out that draft. I'm hoping very little of the Space Pirates will be full rewrites, but the first 3 books definitely are first draft. The rest of them are zero draft, so may require a rewrite, but I'm hoping that a 4-month period, rather than the 2 that I usually give myself in NaNoWriMo, so October to prep it and November to do it, will give me more time and more space with this. The idea will then be that June to September I will do another draft of something. So this year that's hoping to be Project Magic, my NaNoWriMo story, but getting it to a first draft standard rather than the zero draft. It will hopefully be at the end of January. You'll start to see a pattern hopefully in the next few years. I would like to try and get these 2 books to the point where they are queryable, using each other. When I need to put down one for a rest, I can move on to the other. Then October and November every year will be a NaNoWriMo situation. So I will prep it in October, and then NaNoWriMo in November is something that I want to try and hold on to. Even if I rebel slightly, even if I do something a little bit different, I want to try and keep that month as like my writing month of the year. It's a nice little routine for me to have. It does tend to burn me out ever so slightly, but then I've built in a little bit of rest. So the idea after that, December will be hopefully finishing off any of the NaNoWriMo stuff that's still outstanding, but then hopefully quite a quiet month. And then, as I said, January the year after then becomes cleaning up the loose ends. I don't have a plan for what I'm going to do in NaNoWriMo. Usually, this sounds very strange, but usually by this point of the year I kind of do. I've done the NaNoWriMo before and I usually have a couple of other ideas and I tend to know what I kind of want to aim to do. And this year I have nothing, so I'm going to leave that one be and deal with that much later in the year. So that's the idea for my main big writing goals, my big novels. There's something else I'm going to try this year, which I tried maybe 2 or 3 years back. I didn't get very far with because then I put Milwordy in and started to focus very solely on these big novel books. I am going to try and write some novellas or maybe novels, depending on how long they get, in different genres from my main series in some respects, that may go under slightly different pen names and potentially, at some point down the line, start being a self-publishing route. I am not entirely sure what I enjoy writing that isn't science fantasy anymore, because that's pretty much all I've been doing with the Space Pirate. I used to do a fair amount of romance stuff, and I haven't done that for a while. And a few years back I started doing like some paranormal, kind of a soft paranormal. And I would like to try and get a few of those written in this year as well. I've got a couple of ideas for some books that I want to write. And then the plan is entirely based on trying to give myself as much space from my main writing as possible. Basically, I've taken January to September and just split it in the middle. October, November and December, completely free from doing these. So January to May, I am looking at what I'm going to call Project Necromancer. I did a little, I don't remember how many words it is, but I did a short story a few years ago. And I feel like it has elements of some things that could be really good, but in general it's a little bit trashy. But I did write it in like a week straight. So I kind of want to go back over it, reread it and try and draft it up slightly better and see what it's like. So that would be January to May, similar to the main one. That will have baked into it hopefully time to reread the old version, replan and then redraft the new version of it. And then June to October I am going to attempt to write a romance. I will attempt to write a romance. I have a plan again for what I want to do and it might be a complete disaster. I don't know whether I'm a romance writer. I can just about do it as a subplot. So that's what we're going to try up until, I think I said September earlier. I'm going to try it from June to October because I think I can finish it off while I'm prepping NaNoWriMo. But then November, not doing anything for this, and December, definitely not doing anything for this. Try and give myself some rest at the end of the year. So those are the main writing goals that I want to try and do in 2022. One of the other things that I want to try and commit to is once a month doing an hour of writing study. I don't necessarily know how this will look. I don't know if this will be master classes because I've seen a lot of those. And I would quite like to try like Neil Gaiman's ones, or whether this is looking at YouTube and finding where I am currently with a piece of writing and trying to find people that have done like really good how-to videos or breaking that kind of down, doing any work on showing or telling, any of that kind of stuff. I want to commit to doing an hour of that a month so that I can improve what I am doing outside of just practicing it. And then the other goals related to writing will be this channel. So we're going to have a slight change to how this works. When I started this channel, we were pretty deep into some lockdowns. We went in and out of lots of lockdowns. We didn't spend a lot of time going and seeing friends and family at the weekends or doing anything social in the week. And the last maybe 3 months has really shown me what it's going to be like to go back to that and try and do what I was doing in terms of posting on here and writing. And I've got a second YouTube channel that I do. It's all just going to get too much. The maths does not work. I do not have enough hours in the day to be trying to attempt everything I want to do. So I spent some time working out what I think on average my writing is going to take in terms of hours, including the main stories and the novella ideas. And then obviously I've got this hour of writing study. I've got a few other goals that I'm trying to fit in. So I'm having to try and scale back certain elements of my life, and this might be one where we kind of scale back a bit. I've kind of dropped off the consistency entirely in December, so I have no idea if anyone's actually going to see this video because YouTube might just penalise me greatly for that. But I am going to move from the 2 videos a week I was doing before to try and do 1 video or potentially live stream a week. The aim will be to upload one video like this, some kind of sit down video, or potentially like a monthly vlog going through what my month looks like. Anything like that as a vlog every fortnight, and in the weeks in between will be the timer videos that I've been putting up, or potentially, depending on whether I get my life together, I might try starting to do some live streams in those time slots. I'm not going to commit on this video to what day of the week any of this will be, because I'm having to think about when I'd be able to fit a live stream in if I could, and that might change the upload date, because usually I'd upload on a Monday or a Thursday, so I'm trying to work out if either of those days would be good for any kind of live stream once a month. Last year I had a goal to run 10 live streams, and I ran 0 live streams, and I was a guest on 1. So but that's just to give a little bit of context to what it's going to be like on this channel. It might be a little bit less in terms of uploads, but if I do come up with enough ideas, I do have the time, I might try and do either little extra videos or replace a timer video with one of these kind of actual sit down videos or a vlog of some form. I may also add other things to this channel. So this channel was always designed to be an AuthorTube channel, really focusing on my writing. A few weeks ago I did a kind of lifestyle, get my shit together kind of day video. I'm going to try and look for ideas for things that might be a little bit outside of the niche. This is partially because I am aware from what I've been doing for the last couple of years, and also watching other people, that AuthorTube is quite a small audience of people. It feels very, very niche compared to other things on YouTube. But I don't want to change what I do over here. I just want to potentially add in other options of stuff and then just see what does okay and have a real think about what that means for any direction I want to go in. But yeah, so there might be a couple of slightly different videos up. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to play with the ideas. 2022 is going to be a year of discovery, hopefully. It's going to be a year for me to back off slightly, but also to try and really spend the time on each video that I need to spend rather than rushing anything through. Hopefully, I might try and do like some Skillshare videos in terms of my editing software, because I am nowhere near good enough for that. And potentially also just YouTube in general, and try and learn more and try and get these videos out to more people. Because part of my other goals that I have is, again, I'm setting myself hopefully to spend an hour, maybe 2, on things like watching videos for editing, watching videos on how YouTube works, and trying to get myself out there a little bit more. The only other goal that I could say is slightly writing adjacent is my reading goal. So this year I put in a goal to do 50 books. I am at 49, but I have like an hour left on the book that I've currently got on my Kindle. And because for me, I'm filming this on the 28th of December. So I've got just got time to hit the 50. I would like to do 50 again. I don't want to push myself further than that because I really struggled in the later half of this year to read anything. I think when the pandemic first hit in 2020, I lost my mind to reading. I needed escapism. I read loads. And then I think as I've been writing more, and obviously as my job's been getting more responsibility than it was before, and also just seeing friends and family more, reading took the back seat for this last 6 months. So I was massively ahead of myself, and then I've crawled to the finish line. But I kind of want to keep the 50 goal up again and try and equally distribute it this time. Obviously, if I start really reading stuff and really getting into it, I'm not going to hold myself back, but I'm going to try and be a bit more consistent with it and actually try and fit time in my schedule to do it, rather than I get to like the last week of the month and go, oh shit, probably should have read something. Try and download a couple of really quick audiobooks and listen to them on like 3 times speed and absorb most of what's happening, but not all of it. So those are kind of the writing related goals. As I said, there are some others in there, but they are a lot more personal to me, and I don't really want to share them on the internet if I fail them, so I might manage them, and if I do, I might end up saying something about it later, but at the moment I'm not going to share it online. I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday period. And for those that celebrate New Year at the beginning of January, I hope you had a wonderful New Year. Let me know down in the comments below if you've got any particular writing goals you're aiming for this year. If you've got any big novels that you want to work on, or novellas or short stories or poems or anything like that. Are you looking to do any publishing this year? Because that's super exciting, and I would love to have a conversation with you guys down below about anyone who's looking to self-publish anything this year, or anyone's on the traditional publishing route that's going to publish this year. That would also be really interesting to talk about. Other than that, I will leave this here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.